Boom shakalaka. After Bitcoin flash crashed $15,000 wick yesterday, we're going to be talking today about when is the right time to sell Bitcoin. A lot of people have been reaching out to me recently being, when should I sell? They feel imminent sell pressure. We're going to go over exactly the answer to that question, plus a Solana hack exposing $27 million per hour. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're taking a look at when is the time to sell Bitcoin. Verifiably, we're going to go over that. Also, a Solana hack exposing $27 million per hour. Before we get into that, guys, today's episode is sponsored by meland.ai, so stay tuned till the end for a sponsored review. Also, guys, just push the like button. It helps out so gosh darn much. I just really gosh gee appreciate it, don't you know? Goodness, thank you. Well, let's get into it. Guys, Bitcoin, terrifying day yesterday for a lot of people. Price went from $56,000 all the way down to $41,500. Actually wicking outside of this bullish megaphone it's been in since the beginning of August, and terrifying a lot of people. A lot of people asking, should I sell? A lot of people asking, is this the time to buy? And my answer is, gosh darn it, I don't know. It really depends on your own situation. But we're going to take a look at what's going on in general, and then maybe you might be able to figure out the answer for yourself, because I'm not going to spoon feed you this stuff. So first things first, we had this big flash crash from Bitcoin. Look at the size of that wick right there, absolutely huge. And this came after we had a nice little double top right here. Okay, now double tops, generally once they pass the confirmation point right here, they retrace all the way back down to the launching point, which is right here, which is basically where Bitcoin price came to. So basically fulfilled that one 100%. Now, if we go on further, we could see that if we zoom back out, this isn't actually the only double top. We have a much larger double top looming, which could be bad. We have top number one here, top number two right here. We have confirmation point right down here. If Bitcoin actually makes it down to this $30,000 area, well, there is a likelihood it could retrace all the way down to roughly $10,000. That would not be fun, and that would be the time when you got to put your big boy pants on, big boy hodl pants on, or you just get off the shit, or whichever you're going to do. But in the meantime, it does seem like Bitcoin has respected this bullish megaphone trend, even though it wicked outside. A lot of this happens because there are a lot of inexperienced, high leverage traders right now. And there are also a lot of really big institutional players entering the market, seeing that they can make an absolute killing by liquidating dumb money. And that's happening over and over and over again because leverage trading, margin trading is being peddled, because the people peddling it make $600 every time one of you signs up. So that's happening and is causing these massive swings in the market. But I think that you kind of need to look at a thing on a longer time perspective. Now, before we leave this chart right here, this is a territory right now where it seems like Bitcoin may be sitting in up for the next few months. This kind of upper 40s to upper 60s area, because we have this top from the two peaks right there, and then we have this bottom coming in the bullish megaphone. Now, that's going on with the charts, but the undercurrent, a lot of people are speculating that the crash in the price is due to a transformer named variant. That surprisingly, while the entire cryptocurrency market crashed 20+%, this one went up 10x. But that's not all, because what's really going on behind the scenes, and what I think a lot of people are not paying attention to, they're paying attention to this transformer variant, not paying attention to insane inflation rates. Stuff that we haven't seen in a long, long time. Probably ever for most people. But for some people, a long, long time. We can see Michael Saylor says everyone has a double-digit inflation if they measure it correctly, and needs Bitcoin more than they realize. This chart here has a lot of countries with double-digit inflation, like Argentina, Venezuela, Suriname, Zimbabwe, South Sudan, all these in the 50s, North Korea in 66%. So we see a whole bunch. Sudan, 366%. So these are some insane inflation rates. And you might say, hey, but America's not on there. And it actually should be, because Willy Woo tweeted this. He says that the Fed cited tweets saying 18% per year inflation. That's BS because the Fed keeps changing its metric. It's really closer to 40% as measured by ShadowStats. You can see the actual change, year-to-year percent change, is going up dramatically, 40+%. US should definitely be added to this map. More than 1.1 billion people with these double-digit inflations. It's getting higher and higher. But you know what there's not inflation of? Bitcoin. It's actually, well, getting close to 0% inflation. It's like 0.8% right now, or 1.9%, something crazy small. And as a matter of fact, right now, about 90% of all the Bitcoin that's ever going to be mined has been mined already. What happens when there's no more Bitcoin to be mined? Do you think there's going to be some supply squeeze? I would probably think so. And it really the big question comes down to what you believe in terms of Bitcoin. If you're just trading it, leverage trading it to try and become a millionaire this year, or doing it with some dog meme coin or whatever you're doing, well, that's up to you. But if you believe that Bitcoin actually holds the key to financial collapse, well, we could be seeing that happening in the next few years. Because if you have to remember, from the genesis block of Bitcoin, the Times, January 3rd, 2009, Chancellor on the brink of a second bailout of the banks. This was when all the banks were getting bailed out. And this title here is actually printed in the genesis block of Bitcoin. And now some people believe that Bitcoin will protect them from financial collapse. Other people are in it for the technology, but other people are in it for trading. And I think these are a lot of the people who have been calling me up recently. They have somewhat of a short-term time frame in terms of Bitcoin, and they want to know, is it time to sell right now? Is it time to buy right now? And the honest answer is, well, really depends on your time frame. So let's go over a few different time frames. Well, historically, and this year, I should say that Bitcoin hasn't been doing what it historically does. So looking back at history for what Bitcoin's going to do is risky this year, because it seems like every time it's supposed to do something, it does the opposite. But historically, October, November, December, pretty decent months for Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, April, May, October, and November are the 4 best months for Bitcoin. And as the market was crashing, you know who wasn't worried? Colin Talks Crypto, because he was looking at his Bitcoin Bull Run Index at cbbi.info, and he was saying, hey, even though the price crashed, if we take a look at this blue line, this is the cbbi.info line, the support line actually still holds. So we can see here, they've actually updated the chart to now have the coloration of the Bitcoin line included with the cbbi.info score. So when it's a higher score indicating potentially a peak, it gets greener to this blue, and when it's a great time to buy, it's red. So you can see that there, and you can see the line, this trend has just been following, and it doesn't look like anywhere like we are near a top. Not only that, if we take a look at the Bitcoin Rainbow price chart, this one as well, looking right in the middle, we're in HODL territory, definitely not even in is this a bubble or sell or FOMO intensifies, anything like that. So we're just in HODL territory. So again, no indicator that this is the end. If maybe you can't handle the volatility, if you're not interested in hodling, if you just want to capture your gains, then maybe it's time to get out. But historically, times when Bitcoin is below this orange to red area is great times to buy. Now, that's the things that's looking out for Bitcoin right now. And that being said, I'm not a prognosticator. I can't predict the market, because as much as I would like to think that it follows rationality, a lot of times it doesn't. But with the on-chain metrics that we have nowadays, with everything that we know about Bitcoin, it would appear like the price is going to go up. But, there's some big, smart players out there who have a lot of money that can manipulate the markets a lot better than we might think. Which brings us to this article about Solana. Solana library bug could have seen attackers stealing $27 million per hour. There was this article right here, which is published, How to Become a Millionaire, 0.00001 Bitcoin at a time. And basically, this bug was something that could have exploited a $27 billion Solana library bug, and it would have done it a little bit at a time. Now, doing it, it was explained here by Neodime, but basically what was happening was that they could exploit a rounding error, a little rounding error. By each transaction they submitted took this much Bitcoin, five zeros and a 1 after the decimal point for each rounding error. But it could execute this bug 150 to 200 times in a single transaction and put many of these transactions into a single block. They figured that if this Solana bug was exploited, this could have stolen $7,500 per second, or $27 million per hour. Now, the difficulty with Solana and the Solana ecosystem is that many Solana projects are closed source, which means that people can't actually look at the source code, which means that a lot of projects on Solana could have actually been exploited. Fortunately, Solana Labs has already fixed the reference documents to make sure that the project won't happen again. But definitely, this is one of the things with the law in technology, where the older something is, the longer the prospective time frame it can survive. Newer things are a lot riskier. But fortunately, that bug was not exploited. So guys, that is it for today's episode. Now on to the sponsored review of meland.ai. Now, this is a sponsored review, so clearly do your own due diligence. This is not an endorsement of the project. I'm just going to go over the project, and then you can decide on your own whether it's something worth investigating. So, meland.ai is the world's first learn-to-earn decentralized gamification platform. So we're going to take a little bit more look of it at the white paper, but we can see all of their investors right here. And if we take a look at the white paper, meland.ai is the first learn-to-earn decentralized platform where players can challenge quizzes, create quizzes, build, own, and monetize their gaming experience in the Polygon blockchain. The native token will be on BSC called MELD, M-E-L-D. It's a free-to-play, learn-and-earn, play-to-earn game. You can actually play it right now once you become one of the alpha users. Now, if we go on to the overview, it includes 3 main components. These components will allow users to earn MELD token rewards for their efforts. So the play, learn, and create. You can challenge questions to get rewards and NFTs on attack and defense. You can create quizzes to get rewards, and you can build something in their intuitive editor, buy and sell lands, creations, place creations on your land. Now we can see they've made a little infographic here for it. You can either be a player or you can be a creator, and they've created an ecosystem around this. So with player, you can either play these quizzes, the challenges, and get rewards from them. You can play with in-game assets, or you can put on NFTs and things like that. And then with the creators, they can create these quizzes, they can create these lands, and then when anything is sold there, again, the income goes to the creators to basically make a little circle of life with the learn, play, and create. Now, with creating, they have this creation editor right here. Each object is programmable, so you can change it a lot. There's title editors, and there's placing objects, and you can see, for instance, what the lands and what the gameplay looks like right there. And then if we go on further, it's learn, play to earn. So you need at least 1 NFT land to join the Battle of Lands. As you expand more territories by challenging quizzes, each correct answer to the question gets rewarded, and the more rewards will be given for consecutive correct answers. The more territories you have, the more rewards you get for each correct answer. You can only attack territories next to the territories you own, and you can put your assets on the territory. All rewards have an exchange mechanism in Meland's token MELD. They call the in-game reward Didamin for digital vitamin, and Didamin and MELD can be exchanged in 2 ways. You can conquer more challenges by owning stronger knowledge, but each user will have an energy limit each day. And then they've developed some anti-cheating mechanisms as well. Now we can see screenshots here of viewers' others' land. We can see screenshots here of challenging quiz. And then if we head over to Twitter, we can find out a little bit more about what's going on with the project right now. So we can see in the roadmap, their first test alpha was back in October. Their second alpha test was back just a few days ago, the end of November. They have launch on mainnet coming out in December, so this could be pretty big for meland.ai. Also, triple IDO announcement. So, bin starter on December 6th, BSC on December 6th, pools on December 7th, and I'm told a listing on December 7th as well. And then finally, they have a huge epic Meland giveaway. They're giving away 1.2 million MELD to their community. 1.2 million MELD to 500 winners, up to 600,000 MELD. And there will be a link to that in the pinned comment. But that is all for today's sponsor of the episode, meland.ai. Make sure to check it out for yourself at meland.ai or click the link down in the pinned comment. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure to like, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.